In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. I've been gone for a second. Sorry about that, y'all. But we have the Galaxy S23 FE right here in the mint color. This was the best looking color in my honest opinion. This is probably my favorite color next to teal, but this looked like a very sexy color. So I'm very, very interested to see how this looks. I believe they also have purple. They have like graphite or something like that as well. But this phone is kind of coming out at a weird time. And I believe this is probably going to go on sale soon. So this retails for $599 inside of the package. Of course, we have a pretty much bare bones Galaxy S23 missing some features and stuff like that. So we don't have a 2K display. Our display on this is going to be a dynamic AMOLED display capable of HDR 10 plus and 120 Hertz on this as well, and also 1450 nits for peak brightness. So the display is going to look good, but obviously it's going to be kind of like an upscaled 1080p screen. It's going to be a pretty screen. I don't think most people are going to even notice it's not 2K, but full HD display right here, 6.4 inches. But one of the biggest differences between this and the flagship is this is going to be using last year's premium processor. So we're going to have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 inside of here, which honestly isn't too bad for $599. I know a lot of people are saying you can get the S23 used if you guys want to go the used route for about $600. Honestly, I don't really like buying used phones anymore, and I know a lot of people want a new phone when they get a phone, so this may be a good option for you if you guys don't want to spend $1,000 out of pocket for a device. So other than that, we have 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of here. This is the US version, so the processor that we're going to be using overseas is going to be the Exynos 2200. I don't know how decent that processor is, but if you guys have this version of that phone, let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, a 4500 milliamp battery inside of here, which honestly doesn't sound too great, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's just go ahead and unbox this phone. Of course, right here, we're gonna have all of our books and stuff. So of course, always neatly packed right here. We have our quick start guide and terms and conditions. We also have our SIM ejector tool and our data cable. This does not come with a charging brick, so you guys are gonna need to buy one if you do not have one. Of course, the last thing we have inside the box right here is going to be the phone. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. Alright guys, so this is how the phone looks. This is the mint color. I know this camera is not probably doing it justice, but this looks beautiful. It's like cotton candy blue. Very, very nice looking color. I feel like it's a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be, but it absolutely looks beautiful. As far as the weight and everything, this feels extremely premium. So they're actually going to be using metal on the sides of the phone, I believe aluminum to be specific, and we are going to have a glass back as well. So this feels like a very, very premium phone. It's absolutely going to feel like a flagship. I'm definitely excited to see how the bezels look on this. They look a little bit slimmer than the Galaxy A54, but I know a lot of people were saying this is basically a Galaxy A54 with a better processor inside of it, and that's partly true. It does have a few things that the Galaxy A54 does not have. There are a few more features on here, but this is going to be pretty close as far as like the feel and everything. We also have some metal around the camera modules right here. And as far as our camera setup, our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel wide camera. Our secondary is going to be an 8 megapixel telephoto. We're going to be able to use 3 times optical zoom on that as well. And our third camera is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. So we have ultra wide capability on here. We can also shoot at 8K 24 frames per second, 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p 30, 60, 120 or 240 frames per second, and of course the 720p at 960 fps as well. So that's probably going to be the biggest deciding factor between getting this phone and like the Galaxy A54 or something like that. This device is obviously going to have the better camera, hands down. Right side of the phone we have our power button. We have our volume up and down rocker just above that. Top of the phone we have our SIM tray, and of course we have our noise canceling mic to the right there. Left side of the phone, it looks like our 5G band is right there. And bottom of the phone, of course, we have our speaker, we have a noise canceling mic, and of course our USB Type-C port. All right everyone, so we are back in the phone right here, and I did put on a little bit more of a colorful wallpaper because I had it on dark mode and it just went straight black. So the display looks really good. I absolutely love this form factor of a 6.4 inch phone. I really do miss this coming from one of the ultra phones. I really do like this. I think I want a smaller phone like this. But anyways, again, retailing for $599 $50. We also have 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM for the base model. You guys can up the storage to 256 gigabytes, I think, for about $50 more or so. So this is an affordable device for anybody that's used to buying flagship devices. This is going to be a little bit more affordable. Again, on the price tag, I feel like there's going to be so many holiday and Black Friday deals later on that this device is going to go down in price in the next couple months, or even maybe a month from now. So if you guys have something like the Galaxy S21 FE or something really close to this that you don't really need to upgrade, but you kind of want to upgrade, I would wait a little longer so you guys can get a better deal on this phone. But so far, this phone looks good. The display looks good for the 1450 nits on here. The other thing about this device is we actually do have 25-watt wired charging. Not the greatest in the world, but that's still going to give you a 50% charge in about 30 minutes. And we also do have fast wireless charging on this as well. We also have an IP68 dust and water resistance up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. According to Gorilla Glass 5, and of course Android 13 One UI 5.1 out of the box. As far as our updates on this device, we will get operating system updates all the way until Android 17, so we're covered for 4 years on here, just like the A series devices are, so that's still pretty impressive for an S23 FE. Going through the UI, obviously our basic Samsung skin on here. I think this looks pretty decent. The display looks great. The bezels look to be a little bit slimmer than the Galaxy A54, but they're still there, but they should disappear when you're doing activities like playing video games, scrolling through social media, or of course like watching YouTube videos and stuff. So they shouldn't be that much of a hassle, honestly. Going down to our drop down bar menu, of course we have our mobile hotspot. We can link to Windows. We have a native screen recorder inside of here. We have our quick share. We have our Dex inside of here. That's one thing that we don't have, I believe, on the Galaxy A54. So we have Dex in here. We have our Smart View, scan QR code. I will go further in this in the full review, but I do want to test out the camera. So yeah, pretty quick shutter speed. Everything looks pretty nice. The colors look very, very decent and accurate. And of course, we have some pretty good clarity on here as well. So very, very decent photo right here. We're going to do a full review on that later on, but it looks decent for $5.99. Last thing I want to check out in this unboxing video is of course going to be some YouTube videos. Check out the HDR10 Plus, the 120 hertz and all that, and see how the speakers sound as well. Also, as far as the 120 hertz right here, it is going to be set to that refresh rate straight away. So if you guys do want to get a little bit longer battery life, you can set it to 60 hertz. However, that display isn't going to be as smooth, and this feels really smooth. All right guys, so for our video, we have 2160p, 60 frames per second, and we have HDR right here. The speaker, obviously just heard it right now, it sounds exceptional. So the speaker is going to be much better than the Galaxy A54. I even believe the display is going to be better as well. So it's definitely going to be noticeable. This is definitely a bump up to some flagship specifications as far as like the speaker and screen and all that. It sounds really, really good though. So beautiful display. You'd kind of be hard pressed to find a difference between this and a 2K display. I have a 2K display on my device that I use mainly right now, and I can't really see any difference. So this display is really, really decent quality. Great colors, great vibrance. I think anybody who watches Netflix or scrolls through social media or whatever, or plays video games even, is going to have a really decent time with this screen. Last test on this device, I do want to test out the speakers. So of course stereo speakers are on this. We have NCS on here, so let's go ahead and check this out.
I'm nervous on the surface of the fine. My brain feels heavy, my traumatized mind. And I'm so tired, I can't feel my eyes. Whoa, whoa. I'm petty, but I know how to lie. I feel feelings that I can't describe. I'm not breathing, but I'm still alive. Whoa, but I think I'll be alright.
So there we go. The speakers on the Galaxy S23 FE sound actually really, really decent. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. I believe the display looks very good as well. For the price tag of $599, you know, of course, 128 gigabytes of internal storage isn't the greatest, but we have 8 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 inside of here. We also have an IP68 water and dust resistance. Of course, we have fast wireless charging. And of course, Corning Gorilla Glass 5. And some other cool features, including 4 years of operating system updates. For the price of $599, I'd say this is a very solid device. As far as the build and the cameras as well, you guys are going to get, of course, that better camera on the S23 FE compared to the Galaxy A54 or some of its other cheaper counterparts. So yeah, I believe for the price tag of $599, this is a decent device. Now, would I pick it up straight away? No, I wouldn't. The reason being is because we're so close to the holidays that there are going to be so many deals on the Galaxy S23 FE. Unless you guys can find deals right now, because I know a lot of you are switching companies to other wireless carriers and stuff, go ahead and do it. But I would absolutely wait, especially if you guys are going to get like an unlocked variant. That's probably going to be a better way to get a better price on this if you're paying outright or whatever. I would wait till this goes down to like $549 or $499 when Amazon has deals or Best Buy or whatever during the holidays. So I like this device. I like the form factor. I love the speakers. The cameras look to be pretty decent so far. They look to be like up to par with the flagship devices. So I'm really intrigued with the S23 FE. I know we skipped the S22, but even compared to like the Galaxy S21 and the S20, the build on this device is much better, and I think the reason they kind of had to force this to go with better build quality like metal and glass and stuff like that is because the Galaxy A54 has better build quality with that glass and stuff. So yeah, I'm liking what the Galaxy S23 FE is doing right here. Samsung did a good job on this phone so far from what I've seen, and I'm excited to do some more videos on this. But if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys have a beautiful day. Peace out, Tech Gang.